You know, some cities, you feel like you get them right away. Others, well, they keep you on your toes. And Montreal is definitely one of those. It has this European vibe, but at the same time, it is unmistakably North American. So in this explainer, we're going to break down what exactly gives this city its totally unique flavor.
And this quote, it absolutely nails it. This idea of duality, of two powerful forces just coexisting, is really the key to unlocking everything about Montreal. You hear it literally everywhere, people switching from French to English and back again without even thinking about it. So that's our big question, right? What is it really? Is it just the language, the history, the food? We're going to figure it out piece by piece, starting right at the beginning, with the city's very foundation. Okay, our first stop is the historic heart of the city. This is where you can literally walk through Montreal's past and see how these two different empires left their fingerprints all over the place. First things first, you have to get this. The city is in Quebec, where a whopping 71% of people speak French as their first language. And that is not just a statistic, okay? It shapes everything, the street signs, the cafe culture. It gives the city its primary, unmistakable voice. And you can literally see that history written in stone. The architecture is like this amazing conversation between its French colonial beginnings and the British influence that came later. It's a duality you don't just hear, you actually see it. And we're talking about some deep history here. The city was founded way, way back in 1642. You can walk down its oldest street, Rue Saint-Paul, which was laid out in 1672, and then boom, turn a corner and see this massive grand building from 1928, the old Royal Bank headquarters, which is now this incredible cafe and co-working space. Of course, history isn't always pretty. I mean, ask any local and they'll tell you with a laugh that keeping up the old while building the new leads to this other very real duality. The city is famous for its endless sea of orange construction cones. All right, let's move on to our next clue. And this is one you can taste. Montreal's identity is just baked right into its food scene, which is completely dominated by two legendary, you have to try them, local obsessions. First up, the Montreal bagel. And listen, this is not just any old bagel. The method is everything. They are always, always hand-rolled. Then they are boiled in water that's been sweetened with honey. And finally, this is the magic part. They're baked in a real wood-fired oven.
And because of that whole process, you get a bagel that's smaller, a little denser, and has this subtle sweetness to it, especially compared to its bigger, fluffier cousin from New York. And believe me, it is a rivalry that locals take very seriously.
And the city's other food icon, poutine. For anyone who hasn't had the pleasure, the classic recipe is just simple perfection. Hot, crispy French fries, squeaky cheese curds, and then a rich, savory brown gravy poured all over the top so everything gets all melty and amazing. But simple is just the starting line. You go to a legendary spot like La Banquise, and that basic dish becomes a canvas for some wild creativity. We're talking over 30 different kinds on the menu, with everything from pulled pork to guacamole. It just shows how this comfort food has become a total culinary obsession. Okay, so we've got history, we've got food, but to really get Montreal, you've got to look past the old cobblestone streets and see how everything else, modern life, sports, nature, all fits together. So this number, 24, it's about so much more than a number. It represents this deep, citywide passion. Hockey is not just a sport here, it's practically a religion. The Canadiens, or Le Habs as they're called, have won 24 championships. That's the most in NHL history, and that legacy is a huge part of the city's identity. And then, right in the middle of all this urban energy, you've got this incredible escape into nature. Mount Royal, the actual mountain the city is named after, is this huge green heart of the city. And here's a crazy fun fact. It was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, the same guy who designed Central Park in New York. And then, if you wander into a neighborhood like Le Plateau, you find a completely different side of Montreal. It's got this super artsy, bohemian feel with colorful murals everywhere, and you absolutely cannot miss its most unique feature, those crazy winding outdoor metal staircases that go up the front of the apartment buildings. And this is where you see real, everyday Montreal life. The Jean Talon Market has been the spot for local farmers and shoppers since 1933. It's just buzzing with energy, a perfect example of how community and food are thriving well beyond the touristy areas. So we've looked at the history, the food, the culture, all of these different pieces. Let's pull it all together and finally answer our question. What is it that makes Montreal so special?
The answer, it turns out, isn't just one thing. It's this constant dance between all these dualities. It's French and English. It's Old World and New World. It's this huge park right in the middle of a bustling city. It's traditional food being served in totally new ways.
And really, this is the big takeaway. The city's true identity isn't French or English, old or new. It's found in that tension, right in the middle. It's this permanent, beautiful balancing act. And that dynamic feeling is exactly what makes the place so unforgettable. Which kind of leaves us with one last thought. Montreal really shows us what happens when a city just completely embraces its own complexity, when it refuses to be put in a box. It creates something layered, something surprising, and something truly, truly unique.